All right, let's jump right in. We're about to talk about something that is fundamentally changing how medicines are made, and just as importantly, how we know they're safe. For decades, right? The pharma industry has run on a system of manual checks and, let's call it what it is, statistical guesswork. But now, AI, artificial intelligence, is stepping onto the scene, and it's not just tweaking the process. It's here to completely rewrite the rulebook.
And really, this quote says it all, doesn't it? In the world of pharmaceuticals, close enough, well, that can mean disaster. Precision is everything. I mean, we live and die by the validation of our processes because patient safety is on the line with every single batch. There is just zero room for error. None.
So this really frames the huge leap we're talking about. We're moving away from a world where we basically cross our fingers and hope our samples represent the whole batch. You know, a world where quality is just statistically probable. And we're stepping into a new era, one where AI can get us to a place that's much, much closer to mathematically certain. It's not just an improvement, it's a total paradigm shift.
All right, so to get our heads around this whole thing, here's the plan. First, we'll look at why the old way is kind of hitting a wall. Then, we'll bring in the AI solution and see how it actually works in the real world. A big one, we'll ask if the regulators are even okay with this. And finally, we'll wrap up by looking at what this all means for the future. Sound good? Let's go.
Okay, first up, validation's breaking point. So let's start with the big why. Why are we even having this conversation? I mean, the current system has been around forever, right? So why is it suddenly at a breaking point? Well, it all boils down to the fundamental flaws of traditional sampling.
I mean, just think about it for a second. Whether we're talking about PQ or cleaning validation, the classic method is, well, it's like trying to understand an entire pizza by looking at one pepperoni. You take this tiny little slice and just hope it represents the whole batch. It's reactive, it's a ton of manual labor, and let's be honest, it's wide open to human error. Or worse, just plain bad luck where your sample misses the one spot where something went wrong.
And this is where AI comes in to save the day. Seriously, it's the perfect solution to that old, reactive, labor-intensive model. It's proactive, it's intelligent, and we call this whole new approach smart sampling. So what in the world is smart sampling? Well, forget about old-school random sampling from a static plan. This is a totally dynamic strategy. You've got AI algorithms that are constantly learning from predictive models, and they're being fed a non-stop stream of real-time data from IoT sensors all over the production line. What's the result? The AI tells you exactly where and exactly when you need to take a sample. Okay, so how does this actually work? Picture this. The AI is like a super-powered watchdog, constantly scanning for what we call hot zones. These are moments or spots where a problem is most likely to pop up. So let's say during granulation, there's a tiny little temperature spike. So small a human might miss it. The AI sees it instantly. And instead of waiting for a scheduled check, bam! It triggers an immediate targeted sample request right there, right at that point of risk. All right, so that's the theory, and it sounds pretty amazing. But what does this look like in the real world? Let's dive into how AI is completely upgrading what I like to call the big three of validation. First up, equipment qualification. You know, the IQ/OQ/PQ stuff. This is the absolute foundation. We have to know the machines themselves are ready to go.
And right away, this is a total game changer. Think about the old way of doing an OQ, your operational qualification. You run what, 3 worst-case runs and call it a day? With AI, we can create digital twins of the equipment. This means we can simulate millions of different stress tests, analyze mountains of data, all before a single gram of real product is involved. Your OQ goes from being a good guess to being incredibly robust and data-driven.
Okay, so the equipment is qualified. What about the actual manufacturing process? How do we make sure that recipe is being followed to the letter, from beginning to end? This is where that proactive power of AI really shines. It's like having a million tiny scientists watching everything at once. It's monitoring all that IoT sensor data in real time, temp, pH, pressure, you name it. The instant it sees a tiny fluctuation that could even possibly affect quality, it raises a flag and says, hey, get a sample from right here, right now. So quality control becomes part of the process itself, not just a final exam at the end. And number 3, cleaning validation. Everyone's favorite, right? The part of the process that can be a massive bottleneck, sucking up time and money.
The time savings here are just Staggering. Think about it. No more tedious swabbing, no more sending samples off to the lab and then just waiting for days. Instead, you have AI-powered spectroscopic sensors right inside the equipment. They analyze the surfaces in real time. You can literally get the green light that pass on your cleaning cycle the second it's done. That's huge.
Okay, now for the question that's probably been on your mind this whole time. The million-dollar question. This all sounds great in theory, but is it compliant? Will the regulators go for it? Let's tackle this head on.
And I mean, this is the big one, isn't it? It's what every quality professional is thinking. Can you really just swap out decades of established, trusted practice for an algorithm? And then walk up to the FDA or the EMA and expect them to just sign off on it?
The answer, maybe surprisingly, is a clear and confident yes. And here's why. This whole AI-driven approach is a perfect fit for the modern regulatory philosophy of continuous process verification, or CPV. Regulators want to see you building quality into the process from step one, not just trying to test it in at the finish line. And AI, well, it's pretty much the ultimate tool to do exactly that.
So get this. The key thing to understand is that AI doesn't just meet compliance standards, it actually strengthens your GxP compliance. For one, it gives you explainability. You have a solid, data-backed reason for every single sample you take. 2, it creates an automated, tamper-proof audit trail. And 3, it is the ultimate proof that you've truly built quality in rather than just inspecting for it later. All right, let's start to wrap this up. The biggest takeaway here should be that this isn't some far-off science fiction future. This is happening right now. It's the direction the entire industry is moving. And the end goal is so simple, but so powerful. Smarter tests for safer patients.
And that's really the heart of it. This whole revolution isn't about doing more work or taking 1 million more samples. No way. It's about a fundamental shift from quantity to quality. It's about using powerful intelligence to focus our efforts exactly where they'll have the most impact, making sure that every single test we do is the right test at the right time.
When you step back and look at the impact, it's just massive. We're talking about a future with way less waste from failed batches. We're talking about slashing those long validation timelines, which means getting critical medicines to patients so much faster. And maybe most importantly, we're talking about an incredible level of confidence in product safety, achieved with really surgical precision.
So, that leaves us with one final provocative question. By 2026, the question really isn't if AI will take over validation. The question is, will you be the one running the algorithm, or will you be the one still holding the clipboard? The future is coming fast, and the choice is yours.